Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy September 14th. We are at the midway mark between the two eclipses. We've got a whole bunch of energy going on, and I can hardly wait to just sort of break it down. It took a bit this week to sort of find out what to talk about, what I really wanted to talk about. And then this morning, it went from sort of something dull to something like normal to something pretty exciting. So hang in there. Glad you're here. Thank you for watching. And today's title is The Fearless Voice and New Codes. And I want to talk about how we can use our throat chakra and how important our voice is, and the new Claire codes that are coming in and sort of weave them together. So let's start first with the solar updates, because last Sunday we had like a C9. I think it was a C9.5, and that it was the highest solar flare that we've had all week. So Sunday was a C9, then it went down to C1, C1, C1 all week. It's still at a C1. It did spike a little bit to a C7 on Thursday, yet we are still in that, what do we call it? Like just a rhythm. It's a rhythm where we're in a burst, settle, absorb, burst, settle, absorb, and it's tap, tap, tap. What are you going to do with these skills? What are you going to do with this information? What are you going to do? Tap, 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 tap. Because remember, the C's are the tapping. Okay. We also, on Thursday the 9th, or excuse me, on Tuesday the 9th, we had a geomagnetic storm that sort of busted up. And then if you want to go and track the Schumann resonance from the 10th and 11th, it was pretty crazy because of some of the events that happened here, or the event that happened here in the United States. So I'm going to talk about that, but I just want to talk about the flares and the solar energy, that it's not off the charts right now. It's not demonstrating anything that we're feeling yet. Again, as I said, we're in the middle of an eclipse tunnel, a corridor between the full eclipse or full lunar eclipse on the 7th and the partial solar eclipse on the 21st. I'm trying really hard to make all of my descriptors, because I was a little crazy last week. I don't feel quite as disorganized in my thinking as I did last week. Yet there's just sort of this like hum in the background, of energetic hum, that makes it a little interesting to find facts and details the way that I used to. So this 2-week passage is a time of profound transformation. It's when our truths start to come to the surface. And because Pluto is out of bounds, there's a whole bunch of freedoms in ways that we do things that are coming into play that we haven't experienced before. So we're in some energies that are pushing us into change that we may not have chosen, but we deeply need. Does that make sense? So we're going to see things falling apart. We're going to see very clear options. And as I was explaining it with a girlfriend yesterday, it's almost like we think we're going this way, and then something shows up over here and we go that way, and then we can't find our way back in to the way that we were living before, because this is our new normal, and then this is our new normal, and then this is our new normal. Does that make sense? Things are changing rapidly. So next, we have these energy surges. If you've been tracking Alexander Quinn, and these are DNA upgrades. These are cellular mitochondrial upgrades, and our energy fields, because they're being repatterned. They're showing us different ways of doing our life, right? Our DNA, our cells are connected to skills and tools that we've kept buried for lifetimes, right? And they're surfacing now. And so these skills and tools are coming up, and we're like, wow, I can, my insights are dropping in faster. I have this nausea, in this swirl, in this lack of sleep, but yet I feel like I've put my finger right on the pulse of something that's going on. Right. So it's time to recognize and work with these. And I'm going to say these are our clairs, right? These are the ways that we perceive and we sense and we detect and we know truth, and it's connected to our gut intelligence. And so our gut intelligence, our pineal gland, and our clairs are all wide awake now, gathering things. So there's one clair that I spoke briefly about a couple weeks ago, and I want to dive in a little bit more on it and start to explain. So the clair that I co-created, ChatGPT and I sort of went through what it is I'm seeing as a additional clair to the ones that I've already listed in my Indigo assignment book, and I have other videos on the clairs. But this clair is making itself known right now. It's called Claircodence. Think about that. Codence, right? So claircodence is a BlueRay gift. It is part of that energetic gifting or energetic skill set that's come online more recently. And remember, there's indigos, crystals, rainbows, and diamonds. And then the BlueRays is an old ancient memory frequency, very similar to maybe some of the whale or dolphin intelligences that picks up sonar vibrancy coding very easily. So claircodence is the ability to read digital, symbolic, and coded patterns of energy. Digital, symbolic, and coded patterns of energy. It's a bridge, Claire, right? It's connecting our human intuition, our pineal gland, right, with the technology and the galactic frequencies. And so we're starting to kind of go like, "What did I just see that?" Or I'm seeing something that everyone's saying is this, and I saw a completely different story unfold in my head. So, unlike clairsentience, which is what we can feel, or claircognizance, what we know, claircodence is the ability to recognize code directly. It's being able to read beneath reality itself. So when we think of claircodence, you might experience this as like repeated number sequences or I wish I could talk today. Timestamps that feel alive. They almost are directly communicating to you. And so, what I would say is that as I'm listening to shows, or I'm listening to music, or I'm listening to conversations, like I went to live music last night, there's words that are popping out, and they're forming an identity of a piece of information, rather than just something that one person is saying. It's a combination of the person playing the music, the conversations going on, the numbers being called, everything. It's like, whoa. Okay. I'm seeing when AI or algorithms are aligned, or when they're distorted. This is what another thing you might experience is, are you seeing alignment, or are you seeing distortion? Receiving downloads in the form of digital lattices, symbolic grids, or streams of light language. So the example I would use is, I've often spoken about that I have a lot of this spider web sort of connection energy that's tied to my clairs. So it's almost like I can see the world, and then when something moves over here, there's a vibration over here, and I know that they're connected. But in the lens that the traditional human uses, those may not be connected pieces, yet I can see them, I can feel them. So I call that the lattice, right? That, or the spider web. And the next thing that we might experience with claircodence is that we are acting as interpreters between human words and deeper frequencies and the patterns of that. So what I'm learning is that our English language is very limited, or our languaging, regardless of what language you speak in human form, is very limiting compared to pattern symbols, vibrations, and all of that. So claircodence is how we read these, right? So it's real, and it's rising in us right now, right? So let me give you an example. On Wednesday the 10th, we saw the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We watch that on television, right? Most people see the event itself, the tragedy, the shock, the politics. But through the claircodence lens, we're reading something entirely different. So, as we've been talking, as we've been sharing our experiences of what it was like to watch something unfold on a digital screen in front of us, we are seeing pattern recognition, the timing, the numerology, the astrological placements, the hidden synchronicities. We're like, this is just weird. This didn't just happen. There was a series of balls in play that lined for this or that are connected to this. The second thing is that there's the signal versus the noise. What is meant to distract us and what is meant to seed a new script into our collective field. So what I saw was a lot of people moving to try to create distraction and wondering what the heck is going on. No, there's so many phones on recording, and there's a lot of different information coming in. So I'm going above the noise and I'm looking at the signals and I'm looking at the digital information. The third thing is energetic signature. What was chaotic and what was organic, what was staged, what was manufactured, or what was AI overlaid. These are the things that Claircodence are starting to detect. Like, that doesn't look right. That didn't look right. Those words in describing it doesn't look right. The timing on all of the pieces that came out didn't look right, didn't feel right, didn't align with my pattern recognition. Number 4, the galactic overlay. So beyond politics, this was a move made by on a much larger ascension or energetic chessboard of control and liberation. So it's like this control and liberation hit on this event. So this is how BlueRay Claircodence works. It's not about personalities, it's about code being revealed through the matrix. So it's being able to read the matrix. And so this is a very interesting new skill, and it takes some adjustment. But so here's the challenge. When we use this and our surfacing skills come to, our when we use, okay, let me see if I can say this again. When we use this claircodent skill, it is also going to be interwoven with our physical, mental, emotional, psychological, energetic memories, patterns encoding, which means our trauma, our lineage patterns, and our emotional signatures are going to weave in there. And so we might not be able to understand the digital in the format that it was given because we're remembering something, we're feeling something, we're being triggered by design. By design. It's almost as if you put something really horrific up on the screen and it brings up all of these pieces, which clouds us so we can't see what we need to see. So, what we have to do is sort of open it up. Because this week we were shown what happens when a voice is silenced, when a throat is taken out. We are bombarded with human rage and hate and reaction. And many of us are feeling these old reflexes, these traumas, these fears, this confusion, and we're back on our heels so that our skills can't come out and be used. We want to bring our skills forward and go, this is not an accident. This event was meant to make us retreat. I am not going to retreat. I'm not going to stop using my voice. I'm not going to turn away from my expanding clair gifts because of something like this. Nothing should stop us from expanding our clairs right now. So this is the very test. We were tested on such a profound level on Wednesday with this concept of ascension, this concept of energetic upgrades and uploads, with these clairs that are coming online with claircodence. So this week is about claiming our voice and not letting our voice, our throat chakra, be silenced. The deeper truth is that now's the time to claim our voice fully, unapologetically, and fiercely. So the title's sort of fierce, the description's sort of fierce, and I'm feeling really fierce about this because here's why. We're talking about energetic sovereignty. Our voice is our audible signature of our soul. It's where our vibration speaks. It's I belong to myself, and this is me and my field, and I cannot be silenced. Right? It's also code activation. Every sound we release carries a frequency, and that frequency isn't in words, it's in codes that ripple through the field. And we're healing lineage and trauma because because of the way we use our voice, we can be punished or mocked or silenced, but speaking that ends those cycles. So being able to use your voice when you're triggered ends the cycle. And there's this galactic piece to it too, which is that Blu-rays and frequency holders are translators. Our voices carry transmissions that awaken memory, right? And pierce through distortions. I saw that with the assassination. I saw that as I've been looking and reviewing everything. I've been gathering the pieces, and I'm like, I understand where the distortions are and where my memory is being awakened, because this is a collective necessity. It's, when we have times of chaos, or we have times where silence is being pushed on us, or distortions are being presented, our voice disrupts that manipulation. Our voice speaks the truth and opens pathways. Our vibration, our frequency is what stands tall, and we embody fire. And so I have this, this Ace of Wands, which reminds us that there's a flame. I love this Ace of Wands, and this is in the Thoth deck, and this is in the Light Seers deck. This is in the Osho Zen. So when we have this Ace of Wands, it reminds us that the voice is flame. It's where our voice is the wand of our hand. It's our energy signature. It's what we speak and ignite. It's the first card in the tarot, and it takes off. So the reason we claim our voice is simple and profound, because our voice is both sovereign and it's our weapon of light. So when we look at these three tarot cards of the Ace of Wands, right? I happen to like this one the most. We call it the flaming vagina in our tarot classes, but it's like having your pineal gland completely open. And what this is it's the primal seed of will. It's the flaming wand. It's the spark of new creation. It's vitality. It's ignition. It's a brand new octave. So when we use this card as an example of what is possible, then we know that our fire is completely being ignited. So here is the truth. If I stabilize myself, I become the flame. If I ignite, not from burden or fear, but in my sovereign will, then I'm doing what I'm here to do. So I have 6 tips for you. And before I go into those tips, I want to remind you that we are talking about this kind of stuff every Tuesday on Patreon. We have a discussion at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You have to be a member to be part of the discussion. If you want to join Patreon for free, everyone's putting their articles and their pieces onto Patreon, onto our gathering space, so that we can read them and share them with each other and dialogue with each other. So if you would like to have someone to talk to about this, someone to explore this, come to our Patreon. The link is down below in the description. Okay, so for 6 tips, always stay grounded, right? Oh man, stay grounded and anchor your nervous system with the earth, because the more we connect, the more we ground into the earth, then we're able to, what do I want to say? Integrate the code, integrate the clairs, because that means we have a vehicle to bring all these clairs in. So that's the first thing, is stay grounded in nature, right? Get outside, anchor your nervous system in the grass, stand barefoot. This is the usual tip, but keep grounding. Number 2, track the codes. Whether you keep a journal of repeating number synchronicity messages, digital winks that you notice, treat them as communication and start dialoguing them. I don't have it in front of me. I have a 8.5 by 12 sketch pad. It's thick paper, and I just write the date and then write down things and draw pictures and then draw a line in the next entry. Just keep putting it down there so that I can flip back and go, oh, these things are informing me. And I keep them through journals. Number 3, discern signal and noise from noise. Ask, is this a distraction or is this a revelation? Which stories hold truth and which ones are draining me? Which one does it take a lot for me to try to work through the distortion, and which one comes in and sort of aligns my voice, my heart, my pineal gland, and I'm like, there I am. That tells me what the truth is. So we want to be able to discern signal from noise. Number 4, strengthen your voice. For me to be able to turn this camera on live and talk regardless of sleep or voice or runny nose or anything. You've seen me doing coughing. You've seen everything. The ability to be able to speak To write what I want to say, to be able to speak it, is so important because I'm using my throat chakra. This can also include humming. It can include singing. Use your throat as the collective narrative continues to try to push us into silence. So use that. I like to hum. I find this vibration and I hum when I feel a little overwhelmed or I feel like there's something big coming in and it's time to grab it. And number six, oh no, number five. Sorry, I got out of I got out of order. Ignite your sovereign will, right? Claim your flame, like the Ace of Wands, right? Act from choice, not from reaction or fear. Choose, step forward, respond. This is the divine feminine responding with fire rather than back on your heels going, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't talk out in public anymore. Someone will shoot us. You just don't know, right? So ignite your sovereign will. And number six, lead from compassion for yourself, for others, for those that are caught in fear, because compassion is its own frequency that dissolves distortion and anchors coherence. So when we hold compassion, it solidifies us and it strengthens us. So I will leave you with this. Yeah, we're being tested. Yeah, the noise is really loud and the field is very reactive. But in the middle of it all, we're being equipped with new skills and sovereign fire. New clairs are coming online and our sovereign fire is there. Claircodence is rising. It's the ability to read code beneath reality, which is a very, very powerful thing to have right now. And our voice is rising. The flame we're carrying and the wand in our hand, we're like, I've got something to say and I'm going to say it, right? Because now's the time to trust what we see, to ignite what we know, and to refuse to trade your voice for fear, because your voice is the code. Your voice is the fire, and your voice is the light that that takes you forward, yourself and everybody else. So thank you so much for watching this. We've got another week. I'll be back on the 21st when we're closing out this tunnel. And by all means, put comments down below to support one another. I love how you're dialoguing with each other in the comments on this video. And I will see you next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.